Good morning and welcome back to another session of Learning Lives On. We'll call this Learning Lives On 2 because it's the second portion in the series that I'm hoping to do during this strange time of online learning that we're trying to explore and navigate through together. And once again, this is just intended for all families with specific focus on children in grades 1 and 2. Today, I thought it would be a nice idea to explore something really beautiful that spring brings, and that's the butterfly. I thought it'd be a nice idea to look at the life cycle of a butterfly. I haven't seen any yet, but maybe some are on the way to bring some positivity during these challenging times that we're in, but we will definitely see our way out of, hopefully sooner than later. So I'd like to start again with the reminder that if you have children in first and second grade, this would be a nice little learning session for them that combines both science and literacy. So we'll get started in a couple of seconds. I apologize if some of my images are a little light in print. I've ran out of ink cartridge and being self-isolated, it's a little difficult to get access to some, so I'll have to put in an order ASAP for that. But right now, we're going to begin the learning session and we're going to just talk about the life cycle of a butterfly. And a cycle, again, is an ongoing thing. It keeps going and going without end, sort of like the water cycle, which is probably a lesson we could explore on another day. And it begins with an adult butterfly. Then we go to the laying of eggs and the hatching of eggs. And then, of course, caterpillars appear and they're around for a while until they form into a pupa, which can also be referred to as a chrysalis, and then back to that beautiful butterfly. So that is the cycle there. And there are 4 stages in this cycle that we want to know and master and understand. So we'll begin with stage 1, which is the egg to caterpillar stage. And in this stage, we begin, of course, with the hatching of eggs into tiny little caterpillars. And the interesting thing that happens during this stage is these tiny little caterpillars begin eating and eating. In fact, they eat all day long for about 2 to 4 weeks. And as they're doing this, they're doing something else quite incredible. They keep shedding their skin. And why are they doing this? Well, they shed their skin in order to make room for them to keep growing. Their bodies need to keep expanding, and in order for this to happen, their skin needs to be shed. Interesting fact. Now we're going to move on to stage 2. And again, I apologize for the print, but I'll do my best to explain it. And again, you can always slow the video down when watching it to get the information. So stage 2 is called the caterpillar to pupa stage. And in this stage, the tiny little caterpillar, after eating and eating, decides to attach itself to a twig where it feels very safe and comfortable. And while it's on this twig, it sheds its skin for the very last time. The outer part of its body forms into a hard covering. And inside this hard covering, this is where the change, or we can call it metamorphosis, begins to happen. It begins to pupate, which basically means change into a butterfly. So now we're in the metamorphosis stage, and that takes us to stage 3, which more incredible things seem to happen, and that is the pupa to butterfly stage, the most exciting one, the one we look forward to. It's the one that brings us the beautiful insect. So the pupa, or again, we can call this a chrysalis, becomes transparent, which means you can see through it pretty much. And suddenly a butterfly emerges. However, when the butterfly comes out, it doesn't come out in the way that we would imagine. It doesn't exactly look like the kind of butterfly that you would see on a spring day. Its wings are actually crumpled and they're very wet, which means it can't fly. So the butterfly does something quite interesting here. It pumps a fluid into its wings so they become dry and it can take flight. Once the butterfly takes flight, it goes in search of 2 important things, food and a mate. And finally, we reach stage 3, bringing us back to, sorry, I apologize, stage 4. That's stage 4. So we are in stage 4, the part when the butterfly, the female butterfly, I should add, lays its eggs on the underside of a leaf. And why does it do this on a leaf? It does it so that the tiny caterpillar, which we can also call larva, have something to eat as soon as they hatch. So important detail there. A female butterfly lays these eggs and purposely does it on the underside of a leaf so that the baby caterpillar or larva, when born, have something to eat. So those are the 4 stages in the life cycle of a butterfly. Now I have some important questions to test your knowledge on this life cycle of a butterfly. So listen up carefully, and again, if you have any paper or a scrapbook or a notebook to jot these questions down, you can always slow down the video to record them and then answer them on your own time with any assistance provided around you. Question number 1. And these questions are connected to stage 1, which is the egg to caterpillar stage. For how long do the caterpillars spend eating during this stage? Question number 2. Why do the caterpillars have to keep shedding their skin during this stage? And now we're going to skip to stage 3 for 2 more questions that you can answer. Again, the answers to these questions will be found in stage 3 of the life cycle of the butterfly. Question number 1. Describe the wings of a newly emerged butterfly. So going back to that information, how do the wings appear when the butterfly emerges at first? And question 2, again connected to stage 3, what does the butterfly do to its wings so it can eventually fly? So those are some focus questions that you can answer in full sentence form, hopefully. If not, if you don't have anyone around to assist you, maybe you can just do point form, but go back to the video's information in order to answer those questions completely. Now what I'm going to do is we are going to go to a poem about a butterfly. So we're going to combine our literacy now, and I'm going to read you a beautiful poem from Marianne Luger called I Chased a Butterfly. And then I'm going to give you a few follow-up tasks to this as well. I chased a butterfly. I chased a butterfly. She landed on a stone, and I caught her. Then I opened my fingers up, and she was gone. Off among some flowers, colored orange as she was, and I could not see her, not anywhere there. Till up she flew, straight towards the sun. It nearly made me blind, and again, she was gone. Oh, I chased that butterfly. Everywhere she went, I chased that butterfly, so perfect and so delicate. I chased that butterfly one whole day, but it's all right with me that she got away. So that's a sweet little poem about going after a butterfly in flight. And my question is, have you ever chased a butterfly? And were you able to catch that butterfly? Question 2. Why do you suppose so many people find butterflies to be beautiful insects? And finally, you can write your own little tale about a butterfly and where the butterfly lands and what it sees and who it has to fly away from. So you can create your own little butterfly adventure based on the poem. It could be just a short little story about what happens in the regular day of a butterfly. So today I hope you enjoyed our short lesson, and again a reminder to families, we are doing our best to put things together in a way that is condensed enough for you to access the information. And although it's not the way it would play out in a regular classroom, we hope there's some fun facts that the children can enjoy and keep them connected to learning. So again, wishing you all a wonderful day ahead. Keep safe, keep healthy, and continue to learn.